What is the value of the expression 8 squared minus 80 divided by 2 times 8? Which option do you think is the correct answer to this question? This expression is actually very easy, but it tricks 99% of people. Let's break it down and solve it together. To solve this question, many people start by calculating 8 squared first, and instead of the original expression, they rewrite it as 64 minus 80 divided by 2 multiplied by 8. And the next step, they usually perform the subtraction between 64 and 80 and simplify this expression to negative 16 divided by 2 times 8. Then, they proceed by doing the division between negative 16 and 2, which gives them negative 8 multiplied by 8. And finally, they multiply negative 8 by 8, which ends up with the answer negative 64. Then, without any hesitation, they quickly say that option B is the correct answer to this question. But I have to say we're tricked and it's not the correct answer to this question. Also, some other people when solving this question first go for the expression 8 squared and they simplify to 64 minus 80 divided by 2 multiplied by 8. And the next step, they usually go for the multiplication between 2 and 8 because they think multiplication has priority over division. So, they rewrite this expression as 64 minus 80 divided by 16. Next, they perform the division between 80 and 16, since they believe division has priority over subtraction. And they rewrite this expression as 64 minus 5, which ultimately gives them the answer 59. And immediately, they conclude that option D is the correct answer to this question. However, it's not the correct answer to this question. Alright, now let me show you how to solve this expression properly. To solve this question, we must follow the PEMDAS rule step by step. It means that we need to perform all the operations in order from top to bottom. Alright, as you can see on the screen, in this expression, first we have an exponent, then a subtraction sign, followed by a division, and finally a multiplication. We should start with the exponent, because in this expression, exponent has a higher priority than the other operations. So, this expression simplifies to 64 minus 80 divided by 2 multiplied by 8. And the next step, we handle the division and multiplication, since multiplication and division have higher priority than subtraction. However, it's very important to note that in the PEMDAS rule, multiplication and division have exactly the same level of priority. In this situation, the best thing to do is to start from the left side of the expression and move toward the right, performing division and multiplication in order. So, first we perform the division between 80 and 2, and this expression simplified to 64 minus 40 multiplied by 8. Now, it's time to do the multiplication between 40 and 8, which gives us 64 minus 320. And finally, the value of this expression is equal to negative 256. That's great. Option A is the correct answer to this question. Alright, now let's solve another tricky math question together. What is the value of the expression 60 divided by 10 times open parenthesis 4 plus 2 close parenthesis? Which option do you think is the correct answer to this question? Let's go step by step and solve it together. And the first step, most people start by solving the expression inside the parentheses and replace it with 60 divided by 10 multiplied by 6. And the next step, they go for the multiplication between 10 and 6 because they think multiplication has priority over division. So, this expression simplifies to 60 divided by 60, which finally gives them the answer 1. And immediately, they quickly say that option A is the correct answer to this question. However, that's definitely wrong. Alright, now let me explain step by step how to solve this expression correctly. As you can see on the screen, in this expression, first we have a division sign, followed by a multiplication sign, and finally parentheses. To solve this question, we need to use the PEMDAS rule. PEMDAS shows us the priority of the order of operations. So, we'll start with the parentheses first, because it has the highest priority than the other operations. Okay, this expression simplifies to 60 divided by 10, then times 6. Now, it's time to simplify this expression. It's very important to note that in the PEMDAS rule, multiplication and division have exactly the same level of priority. In this case, all we need to do is to start from the left side of the expression and move step by step toward the right. So, first we perform the division between 60 and 10, which simplifies this expression to 6 multiplied by 6. And finally, the value of this expression will be 36.